Good morning, Tottenham fans. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 players who I think will explode next season, 5 players that I think will pop, 5 players that I think will massively improve next season. And I'll also talk about the 7 players that I think will be sold in the summer this summer. And 2 of them are pretty sad ones, to be honest. So if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like. It really gets this channel seen a lot more and it really helps this channel grow. Much appreciated to everybody that's subscribed so far. I'm so close to 2,000 subscribers. It's insane. I never even thought I'd get to 100, so it's much appreciated. So into the video. So the first player that I think will explode under Thomas Frank this season is Mathis Tel. Now, this may scream obvious to most people, but this guy can finish. If you've watched any of the games of the under-21 French team or watched any of the highlights, this guy is absolutely everywhere. He never stops running. His work rate is brilliant. This is what Frank loves. He loves hard-working players. He's got a hell of a shot on him. His accuracy is amazing. There was a tweet going around where he was in training and he just cut inside, boomed it top corner like it was just nothing. And he's one of those players that I think Frank will get the best out of. And Frank's known to improve forward players. He's very good with younger players too. Tel has every aspect, every ability you can wish for in a front player. He's quick, he's skillful, got a hell of a shot on him. He can cross. He doesn't mind challenging for the ball in the air. He presses. He runs back. He helps back out his left back as well. He just does everything that you're supposed to do. His attitude for me is spot on. And this will be a snip if Tel explodes next season and scores 10 to 15 goals, gets, I don't know, 5 to 8 assists as well. 29 million is going to seem like a snip for a 19-year-old. I'm telling you now. I just think he's going to do some big things next season. Next player I think will explode next season and we'll probably see the best of him. And for a variety of reasons, not just Thomas Frank, I think Matar Sarr. He's had a few seasons in the Premier League now. He's starting to get used to the pace. He's matured more. He's got a lot more experience in the Premier League now. His work rate is insane. He's very, very good at anticipating an interception. He's always been good at that. So with the high pressing front foot, structured defensive football, Sarr, it seems perfect for him to play in that sort of system. He'll have 2 others in midfield with him a lot of the times if Frank deploys those same tactics, and it'll just free him up to just do what he does best and win that ball back, break things up. And he's got a good shot on him as well. I can see him scoring his highest amount of goals this season, and I can see him, if he can stay injury-free, having a very, very strong season. Again, he's another one with all the attributes that can go really far in this league if he carries on developing and getting better and learning more and more. The next player I'm going to talk about is Bergvall. You might say that he popped last season, but I'm telling you now, it's still lots of levels this player can go up to. I still think he's got 3, 4, 5 different levels he can go up to yet. He only just got into the pace of the Premier League in the second half of the season and he became one of the first names on the team sheet. He just became this player that you just couldn't leave out. Strong in the tackle, always running, work rate was insane. Brilliant on the ball, spraying the ball left, spraying the ball right, linking up with the defence, linking up with the forward players. The one thing he needs to improve on is scoring more goals and getting more assists, and I just think he will. I think if you've got players like, let's say we signed a DM, which I really think we will do. Let's say for argument's sake, Norgard, and we had Norgard and Sarr in the 6 and the 8, and we put Bergvall in the 10. Or whoever, it could be Madison, could be Kulu, but let's say Bergvall's playing in the 8 or the 10. I just think he's going to score more goals next season. He's going to assist more chances. He's got that year's experience. He's now got his chest puffed out because he's won a Europa League trophy as well. So I just think he's going to pop next season too, and he's going to be even better than we saw this year. Fourth player I think that's going to explode next season is Vuskovic, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on how good this player is. He's 18 years old and he's already got a Croatian cap. He came on as sub for Croatia and international duty. He's again got all the attributes you need for a centre-back. He's strong in the tackle, strong in the air. He dominates the boxes. He really does. He scores a lot of goals. And I'm not sure if he can translate that into the Premier League, but if he can, he's going to be a massive asset if we get corners and he's on the pitch. So, and we've just signed a Takai as well. And Takai is 6'3" and really good in the air. So if we are behind in a game and we need to score a goal, our biggest asset could be putting crosses into the box and letting them two go for headers, because, you know, something we probably lacked last season. And Brentford last season under Frank put in more crosses than any other team. So Vuskovic could be a massive asset next season, more offensively than defensively, if you think about it. But we missed last season as well, like players dominating the box, and obviously we had lots of injuries, and that explains why. We had Davis and Gray as centre backs for a lot of time last season. When Danso came in, the aerial ability became a lot better in the box. But can you imagine having Romero, Van der Ven, and then you've got Vuskovic and Takai, and you've got, you know, Danso, like. Defending, Dragushin will be better next season, but Vuskovic I think is going to be one of those players that in a couple of years' time we'll be saying, wow, and Real Madrid will be trying to sign him, I'm telling you. Then you've got Solanke. Now, Solanke got a lot of criticism last season. For me, I thought he had a really good season. Suffered a couple of injuries which really slowed him down, but he still scored quite a few goals. He's still got quite a few assists. He was one of our main guys in getting us to that final, scoring the penalty against Frankfurt, scoring that goal against Bodø Glimt as well. In both games, I think he scored. And in a Frank team, it's going to be a lot different to Ange's system. So Ange likes to play the number 9, hardly touching the ball, but just trying to get in the box and finishing things off. But in a Frank team, he's going to be utilised to flick the balls on, to link up with the wingers, to get in the box for lots and lots of crosses. I just think Solanke has a potential to score 20 plus goals next season, and I can see it happening. If he stays fit all year, he could score a lot of goals next season. This whole squad in a whole could go up another level, because you've got to remember, a lot of them are youngsters learning their trade still, but they're all getting experience year on year. And I just think that Europa League victory, which Ange deserves credit for giving us this platform of young players developing into men, and then Frank's just got to build on that now, and he's got so much talent to work with. And if he's as tactically brilliant as people were saying, and he gets the best out of all your players, and he works his tactics around the players, not around them fitting into his tactics, he tries to get them building on their strength, and he builds his tactics around that. And if Spurs add in a couple of quality players on top of that, this squad could explode, let alone these 5 players. Now, the 7 players that I think will be sold this season is Brian Gill. Obvious reasons. He's not made it in the Premier League. He just doesn't make an impact. Valise was meant to be an Argentinian wonder kid, but obviously I don't think he'll be here next season. Solomon had a brilliant season in the Championship last season with Leeds, but I think it's the good time to sell him. I think we can get a 20 million for him, because if we want to sign players like Eze and Mbeumo, we need to forget about Solomon. We need the space for these guys to come in. A sad one for me is Ben Davis. Ben Davis, 10 years at the club. Everyone's sad to hear about Sonny leaving, but for me, Ben Davis leaving is a massive loss for us, because he's been so reliable, so good with the youngsters, helping out the club, model professional. He'll be sorely missed by me. Next person I think will leave is Yves Bissouma. Bissouma, for me, he could stay and he could be really good under Frank, but He's got 1 year left on his contract. Is it worth the risk? Because he just seems to make a lot of mistakes in the season. He makes silly mistakes as well in big games, especially against Chelsea. He seems to do big mistakes against Chelsea. He gave that penalty away. I think he got sent off in another game. He just seems to not... When it's a big game, he just seems to do something silly, and I don't think we can afford that in our squad. And he's got a year left on his contract. I think he's coming up to 28 years old. I just think we can upgrade on him. That's all I'm saying. He may stay and do really well, and then I'll be happy for him. He was immense in the final as well, to be fair. But, you know, he does have some really good games too. But for me, I would sell him. Richarlison is another one I would sell, and I think he'll be sold in the summer. There's rumours now that I think, is it Fenerbahce want him or Galatasaray? One of them two. I think it's Fenerbahce that want Richarlison in their squad now. And, you know, if they offered 20 million, I would snap their hands off. You know, when he plays, he scores goals. He gets assists. He's a nuisance of himself. But the best ability is availability, and he's never available. He'll have a run of 3 or 4 games where he'll score goals and gets assists, brilliant. But then he'll go 10, 11 games missing. And then he'll come back, and it'll take him ages to get back into a routine again, and then he'll get injured again. And it's just not worth it. We've got an injury-prone side as it is. The more injury-prone players we can get out, the better, to be honest. It just really affects your squad when Solanke has to play every single game. If we sold Richarlison, we really need to bring in a top-quality replacement. I'd love to get Gyökeres. Nobody's signing him up at the moment. Why can't we just go for him? We really should. And the last one is the saddest one of all for me, is I think Son Heung-min will be sold this summer. Now, this is not me saying I want him to be sold. This is not me saying that he should be sold. I just think he will be sold. And for the reasons are, he's on his last year of his contract. If somebody offers from Saudi 30, 40 million, is that going to be too much to turn down? Sonny himself might want to leave. He might think, well, I've been here 10 years. I've won a trophy. I've done my dream with my dream club. The fans still love me. I've got people coming through like Tel, Odegaard now that might take my place. I might not even get in the side anymore. He might just think to himself, it's time for me to move on and move on to something new. If he does, and he decides to do that, I think the decision should be left to him though. I think we shouldn't push him out or anything like that. I certainly wouldn't want to push him out. If he stayed, he's another one that could pop underneath Frank. So, you know, if he stays, I'll be happy. If he left, I'll be sad, but I'd understand it. Always going to be a legend of this club. Always going to be remembered for how brilliant he is as a man, as a person. Everyone loves him. Even opposition teams love him. That's it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think of the video. Who would you sell in the summer window? And who is the main person that you think is going to explode next season under Thomas Frank? Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.